Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Andrzejewski, and I'm the CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com. We're very excited about our first ever Ripoff of the Week segment right here, Facebook Live. You know OpenTheBooks.com. We've got the simple mission, every dime online in real time. And last year, our auditors, we filed 41,000 Freedom of Information Act requests to build the largest private database of U.S. government spending ever. Not only do we open these books, but we audit them, and our audits make national news. And by being a follower of this Facebook page at Open the Books, you get all of our breaking news and you get it first. And together we hold the political class accountable for tax and spend decisions. So I'm very proud right now to introduce my co-host, Tamara Colbert.
Hey, good evening. Thanks, Adam. Boy, we have a lot to get to tonight. And so, rip off of the week. I can't think of anything more important to talk about than your oversight reports related to the Congress, this selfie report of this exclusive congressional membership club. Adam, kind of share with us, give us this overview of what Open the Books has been working on related to these congressional oversight.
Well, I can't think of a more appropriate topic for our first rip-off of the week than Congress. Congress is ripping us off. What we did is we took a look at, there's a lot of confusion on how much money they make in terms of pay, their perks, what they get in terms of perquisites, and then their pension benefits. But along the way, we discovered a lot of other things. So the first thing is salary. Tamara, they make a lot of money. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she makes $223,500 a year. The leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, he makes $193,000 a year. A rank and file member makes $174,000 a year.
So when we look at salaries, that actually kind of is just one little component of this exclusive congressional membership club. I'm looking right now that over the past 12 months, there is a Gallup opinion poll that Congress is anywhere from a 17% to a 31% approval rating. Could this disdain for Congress be because of these incredible salaries and some of the other perks? Can you share with us what some of those other perks are?
So the perks are things like their pin. So they wear this pin, you see it on like the cable news shows. And what that does is it separates them from all of us. So we know that they are a member of Congress. And so one of the quick things that it allows them to do up on Capitol Hill is they get to avoid all the lines. They flash that pin and they're in. Look, there's a beauty salon that's dedicated on Capitol Hill up for those members of Congress. There's a private gym for them up on Capitol Hill. The membership fee is $25 a month. They have a steam room, a pool, a sauna room, and paddleball courts. Their health insurance is 72% subsidized by the American taxpayer. They actually have an exclusive subway system underneath the Capitol that shuttles them around from all the buildings very, very quickly. They have a slush fund that they're entitled to, that when they get into hot water with their employment issues within their office, they get bailed out. And we took a look at that. Since 1997, $18 million of taxpayer money has been used to bail out members of Congress in hot water. None of it's disclosed, and we would like transparency, radical transparency on that fund. There's been about 300 cases settled, and the average settlement has been about $65,000, so it is very material. And then if you're a member of the U.S. Senate, here's a perk that drives people crazy. A member of the Senate, they can't even punch their own buttons on the elevator or hold their elevator door. They hire doormen. And we quantified $10 million worth of salaries paid to the doormen to punch the buttons in the elevators for U.S. senators.
Well, that pales in comparison. I'm looking at a couple of comments, one from Judy saying that these this congressmen and women are getting rich off of the taxpayer dime right now during COVID virus, and 90% of them aren't even showing up to do their job. Who knows what they're doing? But I think, Adam, there's one more component that I want to ask you to reveal to the listeners tonight. What about retirement? Because that can be even more
Well, before we
lucrative
get to
than
the
your salary.
retirement, there's something along the way, and it's called workers' compensation insurance. So if a member of Congress gets hurt while on the job, they're entitled to compensation, workers' comp and federal social disability. Well, the system's been gamed. And the famous example of this was in 2012, when disgraced Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., right before he was indicted by the federal authorities for misappropriating $750,000 worth of campaign funds on vacations and memorabilia and things like that. He was eventually indicted, convicted, served time in jail. Well, before he was indicted, he filed for workers' comp and federal disability. And he's been getting $138,000 a year because he claimed Congress made him mentally ill. Now we don't have any doubt about the claim. I'm sure Congress makes a lot of people mentally ill. But why are taxpayers having to pay for this? And if he's still receiving those payments to this day in the year 2020, he's received $1 million worth of workers' comp and federal disability.
That's unbelievable. And Adam, here's what as we're looking at all of this, and Open the Books has some tremendous auditors, really, like you said, not just looking through what's going on, but really auditing it to try to make sense of it and to follow the money, if you will. What can the American taxpayer do? Is there, besides supporting Open the Books, which is awesome, and making sure they're on your newsletter and looking to see your reports,
well, Tamara,
is there any role that the American taxpayer can take in this as well?
The American people can weigh in on this issue of federal pensions. Two things. One is a retired member of Congress. Even though we guarantee it, we've helped fund it, we don't get to see it. We don't get to see their pensions. And there's legislation in there, and we need to get that legislation passed. The second thing is U.S. Senator from Indiana, Mike Braun, has a bill to allow members of Congress to opt out of the federal pension. Right now, on federal pensions, it's very lucrative. For instance, Nancy Pelosi's been in there for 34 years, and she would reap over $153,000 worth of federal pension and U.S. Social Security from taxpayers. Now, along the way, she made $5.7 million in salary. But she also gets to, like the rest of them, she gets to double dip the federal system, because they not only have the pension plan, but they also have a 401k style plan where taxpayers match 5% of salary. So into Nancy Pelosi's plan, taxpayers have put about $250,000 worth of matched funds into her account. And if that grew at the level of the S&P 500 stock market over the course of the last 34 years, when Pelosi retires, not only will she get her retirement package, but she'll also get, we estimate, $1 million golden parachute on the way out the door, courtesy of the United States taxpayer.
That's unbelievable. That's
well, this is why we call this segment the ripoff of the week, Tamara. Congress, they write the rules, they pass the laws, and it is any wonder they've created such a lucrative system to reward themselves.
Right, which it's no wonder that they're fighting so hard to keep that control and the lack of transparency, because I think if the American people really knew what was going on, right, it's like you don't leave a little kid in the house alone for good reason. It's kind of, we need to be taking that same step with Congress, and that's where the American people come in. But, Open the Books has really been on this promoting transparency with the elimination of the fraud, abuse, waste. And we can thank your former honorary board chairman, Senator Tom Coburn, for what he did to really instill in you personally, and just a champion for your organization. And I think that as we're looking for different ways, yes, we've got to get a handle on Congress and this whole exclusive club and their perks, and tone that down, especially for the legislators who are already millionaires, they don't need that taxpayer money. But
Well,
there's
and
some,
Tamara, Tom Coburn in 1994, Coburn's one of the few in U.S. history that rejected that federal pension. He opted out of that pension. And then amazingly, in the 2004 Defense Appropriations Bill, they added back some law that said that a member of Congress can't opt out of the federal pension. They have to take it. So Coburn, he continues. We lost him in March. Sad day.
yeah.
Real champion, a real hero. But U.S. Senator Tom Coburn, rest in peace. He's our guiding light.
Absolutely. And I think as part of that guiding light, one of the things that you two worked closely on was this elimination of the use it or lose it spending at the end of the fiscal year for the federal government. And in the last several years, Open the Books has done a really tremendous job highlighting through your use it or lose it spending oversight reports just some of the egregious and outrageous lack of transparency in their spending practices. This week, we had something really incredible. In fact, yesterday in the House Armed Services Committee, you want to talk about what happened yesterday that's pretty monumental related to the future elimination of this?
Yeah, the ranking member, the Republican Mac Thornberry out of Texas, he brought an amendment on the Defense Appropriations Act to say that they should not participate in the year-end last 30 days of blow-off excess spending, where they spend down their budgets this year to get the same or more money from Congress next year. And his remarks were followed by Representative Paul Cook. He's a Republican from California, but he's a 26-year decorated Marine, 2 Purple Hearts. And Cook followed that up and said, look, nothing is more abusive to the U.S. taxpayer than this use it or lose it spending. And then that led to comments from the chair, Adam Smith, the Democrat chairman of that committee out of California. And Smith said that he would co-sponsor that amendment to stop use it or lose it spending. So make no mistake, everybody watching this live stream today, you and I and Tamara and our auditors at openthebooks.com, we are making a big difference. We are making a big difference to influence the halls of power up on Capitol Hill and stop some of these most outrageous practices.
You know, I was talking with someone, just somebody that I randomly ran into today at the when I was out at lunchtime, and I had a brief conversation about oversight, and because this was on my mind, this show was on my mind, and he said something really profound that was, when the people are engaged and watching and paying attention, then legislators, doesn't matter where they come from and what side of the aisle they sit on, they'll do the right thing. But we have to be engaged. And so it's not only open the books, right? It has to be this partnership, all of us together really working to make that change in what we want. And I think what you are talking about, what happened yesterday in this Armed Services Committee, the mere discussion of transparency, of putting an amendment on the floor when this National Defense Appropriation Act goes to the floor for a vote, to elevate that discussion of eliminating this egregious practice and more transparency.
Well, and let's go through just a quick laundry list, then we'll wrap up here. So, our auditors found that the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, in the last 30 days of the fiscal year spent $10,000 on a club leather chair. They spent $1 million on PBR, that was renewing their sponsorship of the Professional Bull Riders Association. They spent $4.6 million spending down their lobster and snow crab budget in the final days of the fiscal year. Look, the Department of Defense, they spend a lot of money. They also have to respect the American taxpayer, and this use it or lose it spending needs to be reined in. And now it's a bipartisan issue right in the committee. We're very proud of this.
I am so proud of this. I know how hard you have worked. I know how tireless your auditors are from Open the Books, really looking for everything. And I think what's really important is being able to call attention, utilize facts don't lie, checkbooks, they don't lie. You can follow that money trail. What would you do? Where could people go to sign up if they wanted to make sure they're on getting the newsletter or making sure they're watching the Rip-Off of the Week so they know exactly what's going on? Where do you want to direct them?
So just come to our website at openthebooks.com and you can sign up to get on our email list. And obviously you're following us right here on Facebook. And so that's the place to be. So I just want to wrap up, Tamara, and wish everybody a very happy Independence Day. We celebrate freedom on July 4th. And our auditors at openthebooks.com, we really celebrate that freedom every year by filing those 41,000 Freedom of Information Act requests. And it's our objective to take every dime of government spending and post it online so we can follow the money and hold the political class accountable for tax and spend decisions. So I'm wishing everybody a happy Independence Day, happy July 4th.
Thanks, Adam. Can't wait to see what next week's Rip-Off of the Week is going to be. You guys, next Thursday, show up, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be back with more things that are going to get you fired up to act and be participatory and engaged as American taxpayers. Thank you so much, Adam. Openthebooks.com. Go there, sign up, and see what we're working on right now.